Hi everyone, welcome back to Dream in English. My name is Miss Morales and I'm your English teacher for this channel. So far, we've been looking and identifying different grammatical errors in our passage. We've discussed about common and proper nouns, as well as superlative adjectives, as well as punctuation, and this leads us to our closing video on the importance of capitalization. So capitalization helps us know when to begin a word with a capital letter. As we discussed when we looked at common and proper nouns, we always capitalize a proper noun. However, there are other rules regarding capitalization and when to begin a word with a capital. So, capitalization is the writing of a word with its first letter in uppercase and the remaining in lowercase. We have capitalization rules because they make our lives easier. So, looking at our slide, we can see that uppercase is just the big letter format of our alphabet. Now, capital letters have three basic uses. One, they give emphasis, as in official titles and initial words. It emphasizes that a sentence is about to start or it is a title or proper name of something. It, too, helps us distinguish proper nouns. And three, highlights words. So in headings or in captions, or if we want to bold something, we would use capital letters, capitalization. Now, we capitalize the first word of every sentence. In English, the first letter of certain words is capitalized to give emphasis and to clarify sentence structure and give meaning to the reader. There should always be a capital letter after a period. So every new sentence that we starts with a capital letter, as well as after any sort of punctuation, whether that is question marks or an exclamation mark. This goes into the rule of capitalizing the first letter. Let's look at an example. Have you ever wondered why remembering to capitalize the first word of a sentence is so difficult? Well, this is because in some languages, capitalization does not exist. Certain Eastern and Asian writing systems, including certain Indian, Chinese, and Japanese alphabets, do not distinguish between uppercase and lowercase letters. As you see in our passage, we capitalize the first word of every sentence. And as the passage mentions, most students and individuals have a hard time remembering to capitalize the first letter because this simply does not apply in their first language. So if the language you speak does not have capitalization, chances are this is something that you're going to really have to work at and remember to apply in your writing. Capitalization really helps us identify between common words and proper nouns. For example, we can say, she went to the brick. Now, a brick is a piece of stone or material that is often used to build houses. So when we say she went to the brick, it is a very confusing sentence. But if we were to capitalize the T in the and the B in brick, we would be able to identify that the brick is the name of something. In this case, the name of a department store here in Canada. So she went to the brick. Another important rule to remember when it comes to capitalization is we capitalize proper nouns. Now, if you don't remember what a proper noun is, now would be a good time to watch the difference between proper noun and common noun video once more to refresh your memory. So, what is a proper noun? A proper noun names something specific. So, specific names of people, days of the week and months, holidays, languages, nationalities, and religions, trademark and brand names, as well as many other specific things of which are titles and are considered to be proper nouns. Once again, this is just a refresher because we talked about it before when we identified why earth needed to be spelled with a capital E at the start of the word. Another important rule to remember when it comes to capitalization is that we capitalize a person's title. What is a title? A title includes Mr., Sir, Miss, Mrs., Doctor. These are all titles that we give to individuals. So, Mr. Smith or Dr. Jones or Mrs. Morales, these are all titles that we give to individuals. It also applies to situations where you address a person by his or her position as though it was their first name. Let's look at some examples. I went to go see a doctor today. Dr. Jones told me I was in perfect health. So in this case, we are capitalizing the title doctor in Dr. Jones. However, this also starts the sentence, so whether you're confused if we capitalize it because it's at the start of the sentence or we capitalize it because of the title, they both apply. But doctor, because it is a title, it is always capitalized. Another example would be, my friend got married yesterday. She will now go by Mrs. Smith and not Miss Carter. So often when you get married, you take the name of your spouse. This applies for females. So they take the last name of their spouse, and they go from being Miss to Mrs. So once again, the title of a person is capitalized. What if we were to say, yesterday I saw a news clip about President Trump? Why do we capitalize president? Well, we are referring to somebody based on their title. We are referring to Mr. Trump, essentially, but his title is president, so we capitalize that. Yesterday, I saw a news clip about the title, President Trump. We can also capitalize the first letter of a title of someone when we are referring to them based on that title. So, for example, thank you, teacher, for helping me on my assignment. We capitalize teacher because we are using teacher as the name of someone. So if someone were to call me teacher instead of Miss Morales, they are using that title as the name, as my name. This is so important, guys. This rule needs to be memorized and practiced always. We always, 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 always capitalize the pronoun I. So always capitalize the pronoun I. So for example, yesterday my sister and I went to the mall. I want to go on vacation. Every year, I go skating with my family. Regardless of where in the sentence that pronoun is found, we always capitalize I. We also capitalize the first letter of a list. So when we're making a list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the first letter of that list is capitalized. And another important rule which we're going to talk about is always capitalize the first word in a complete quotation. A quotation is a group of words from a text or speech, and they are repeated by someone else other than the original author or speaker. So if I wanted to quote President Trump on something he said, I would say President Trump, open quotation, what it is that he said, close quotations. In our examples, the teacher said to the class, so I'm talking to maybe a classmate or somebody else about what the teacher had said, so I'm not saying it, I am referring to the teacher. The teacher said to the class, always remember to start a sentence with a capital letter. So someone is quoting what the teacher had said, so we use a capital letter at the start of that quotation. The students responded, we can't help but forget. So once again, in our sentence, the students responded because now I'm quoting what a student had said, we can't help but forget. Okay guys, so it's important to remember these rules when it comes to capitalization. Now there's a lot of other rules to remember and we'll come across them in our later videos. However, I can't help but stress capitalizing at the start of a sentence and always capitalizing the pronoun I, regardless of where it comes in the sentence. So things to ask yourself if you're not sure whether you should capitalize or not is this the first letter in a sentence? If the answer is yes, then capitalize. Is this the pronoun I? If yes, capitalize. Am I using a name that someone gave to this thing or person? Is it referring to someone specific? Is it a proper noun? If yes, we capitalize. Okay, so this sums up how we're able to identify all the different errors in our passage. And we're able to see how we can take and identify and fix all the errors. So this takes us to being able to correct the capitalization within our passage. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.